Well. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, officially, from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, we're live, baby. Go ahead and Spartan kick that like button for me one time. Welcome in, guys. You're halfway through the week. Congratulations. If you've been having one hell of a week like I have, then, you know, keep going. If your week is flying by, I'm jealous. It's been one of those weeks. Gotta get the dog hair off my hat. Love my dogs. They accompany me everywhere, though. Listen, guys. I've been putting out more content. 3 episodes in the last 7 days. So we're getting somewhere now. If you want to see new content from me, it's out there. You could find it. Recently reviewed the Tempest Tornado, the new Vosti Tie Slim, which somewhere in this mess of a desk, and then of course the Devo Saloon. The last 3 videos that I uploaded, they're all out there. I've got more on the way though. It's so much more to make content for. So many knives. What did I carry today? Nobody asked, but I'll tell you anyways. 2 really cool knives. Bang. Check it out. This is a custom from Vulcan Knives. Freaking awesome. And you know what? I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't care because it's so freaking cool. Custom knives. Shout out to Vulcan Knives. They didn't send it to me like you guys. I'm a degenerate customer. So this is something I'm gonna have to make some content for. Other knife that I carried, it's being released soon, so naturally so is my video. That said, this knife right here is a new option from Winterblade. It's the X Folder. So freaking cool. So freaking cool. Easily the most fidgety, fun knife freaking ever. The X Folder. Yeah, I know. I'm late getting mine. Other channels have videos uploaded. I'm still going to do my episode, my take on it. I'm going to have fun with it. Big shout out to Brian Winters, Winterblade, for surprising me with it. I wasn't expecting him to send me one. Got lucky because he had my old address in it. Nearly got shipped to a complete stranger. Brian, if you're out there, if you're watching, thank you for making sure I got it. Really excited about that. That said, guys, I'm going to say hi to the first couple people in the chat, then I'm going to skip to the bottom just like we did in the last video, in the last live stream rather. Anyways, those are the 2 knives that I carried. What was in your pocket? Let me know. Pop it in the Discord if you're in the Discord. We're going to say hi to some people, then we're going to get to the most recent chats. What's up, Marco? Stonewall, Henry G.
I'm not retarded, but I like rocks.
Oh, man. I suppose I should probably scroll down and make sure my audio is working fine. I checked the settings. It should be fine. I did a sound check before I went live. What's up, Mike and Ike's EDC? Welcome to Knife Mom. Serious Mike in the house. What's good, Serious Mike? Miranda and Keith, good to see you. Welcome to Ian Coates. He says, I'm just here for any comments about American Blade Works. I mean, I said my piece on the last live stream. Think that they have some quality control issues they could iron out. Otherwise, love the knife. And they recently released the diamond pattern of the slip joint. Yeah, the diamond pattern of the slip joint. Let me see real quick. I'm curious if they're still available or not, or if these sold out, because I had a feeling that these wouldn't stay as available as they initially did on the last drop, but no, they're still there. Yeah, I will say this, that is the coolest milling pattern I've seen on the slip joint so far. I mean, I've got this guy. Yeah, and soon I'll have this guy. Like the knife. I've been carrying it more than just about anything. That said, good to see you, Ian. Welcome in. Welcome in to my man Bradford Mitchell. Welcome in. Jim Miller, good to see you, Jim. Welcome into another channel mod. What's up, man? I'm skipping through. I'm gonna miss people, and for that I am sorry. Top Dog, he says, "Are we gonna play?" I mean, the street lights haven't turned on yet, so I'm assuming that it's not curfew. I'm assuming. But my windows are closed, so I can't see the street lights. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, man. He says, "Why are Winterblade Co. knives so hard to get?" I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you exactly why they're so hard to get. And it's the same reason why I always laugh at people when they comment on Winterblade videos and they're like, "This is a gimmick. So gimmicky. Blah, 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 blah." Because those same people are also the most vocal about frame lock titanium folders, and they most of the time they spend their days wasting away in the comment section saying things like, "Another titanium folder, boo-hoo." And you know what? They're not wrong. The community is starving for innovation. But luckily, in recent years, we've had a lot of it. We've had lots of innovation. And at the forefront, you've got makers like Gavin Hawk. You've got makers and designers. I mean, even though he used to do a lot of custom knives, I don't know if he does them anymore. Brian Winters is one of those innovative people that is willing to take risks to make something really freaking cool. Like nobody's doing this. I'm sorry. Nobody's doing this. So anyways, it's because the community is starved for true innovation. Like a lot of companies will be like, "Here's a brand new crossbar lock, another crossbar lock, another plunge button lock." And lately they're like, "Oh, here's a top liner lock," which is really just the same lock that we have on the Spyderco Smock. Vosti was the first, of course, to adopt that after Spyderco's utility patent ran out. Now other companies are just jumping on the trends, but like that's not innovation, right? Like something like this is massively innovative, and people can see it. It's tangible. You can feel it. So if you want to know why Winterblade knives are hard to get, it's because they're so freaking different. And it is 100% a cop-out to say that something like this or any one of Brian Winter's knives is gimmicky, because they all serve utilitarian purpose and they actually advance the utility of the knife. If it was just something like fidgety and fun and that's the only thing you got out of it, then that would be a gimmick. Not that you asked about all that. That's just my general thoughts. I got this yesterday. Oops. I got this yesterday. This came in the mail yesterday. And so my brain is already theorizing how I'm going to write the next episode, or rather the episode that I do for this. I have one knife that's ahead of that, and I need to get that out. But all of that said, the release is going to be a drop, not a pre-order. So I do believe that Brian has stocked up as much as he can. It's not financially easy to do a drop instead of a pre-order when you're a maker / designer. But I know that he keeps upping the inventory, and I think this time he has more inventory than he ever has had in the past. And I'm going to tell you right now, I want another one of these. This one is in 7075 aluminum, and he also has titanium variants, which I think is super freaking cool. Oh man, it's addictive. It's addictive. I'm already formulating the episode. Thanks for asking, man. Good to see you, Ed B. Jim says, not going to be much good tonight. Had a killer headache most of the day, feeling like shit. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Feel better soon, Jim. We'll be on in the background. Lurk away, my friend. And on that bombshell, we are going to... We're gonna drop it all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. Let's see. Welcome into Skull EDC. Paul Mills, good to see you. R&R Steve. Listen, guys, I just skipped a lot. So if you're out there and you're like, why did he skip my message? because otherwise I will spend forever catching up if I go from the top down. So just keep talking. Welcome into David the Fifth. Good to see you, man. Hold on. Nick Travellini. What's up, man? Nick T. Ian says the only episode I'm looking forward to is NASCAR episode 2 on Sunday. I didn't take you as a NASCAR guy. I always thought it'd be funny to like commentate for one of those. And coming up on the next corner, they are turning left. That's un-American. How dare I say that? They're turning left. They're going around the track. Officially now I can't show my face in the South. R&R Steve says, innovation, can it beat the NOS 1989, the NOS 1989 Gerber LST coming in the mail? I'm not familiar with that knife. I mean, it also depends on how you define, like, how would it beat it? I guess I have to look it up. Hold on. I mean, this is a knife, an EDC live stream, so why not? 1989 NOS Gerber LST. I've never heard of this. So this is what pops up when I search for that. I mean, I guess it depends on how you would define beat. You know, like I imagine this is infinitely less expensive, and if your goal is just a cutting tool that gets the job done, then I mean, I have no idea what this costs. I'm assuming this is what, sub $50. And I can't even find a price for it. Is it a discontinued model? Is it a classic model? Yeah, couldn't tell you, man. That looks like a more traditional knife style. Backlock, nice drop point, pocket friendly. I feel like everyone has had an experience with a knife like this knife or a knife that looks just like it. I'm getting the aroma of nostalgia. Like I may have handled one of these at one point. Like when I was a lot younger, when I was knee high to a tabletop. Yeah, the aroma of nostalgia. I don't know. Kind of depends. Hey, shout out to my man TC Blades, who's been a battalion leader for 16 months. TC, thank you, man. Thank you for riding with the channel for 16 months. And says, any NASCAR fans in the chat? I mean, clearly not me. I like cars. I like going fast. I'm more of a rally race kind of guy if I'm watching racing. So un-American of me. Ian says, I didn't take me as one either till Daytona 26. What was special about Daytona 26? Clearly, I didn't watch. I don't know. Hold on. New old stock. Got it. Apparently, Jim hates the OG LST with the leather belt sheath. And I mean, I don't know. I know for classical, like if I'm going more with classic knives, I'm probably going to go with something like a buck 110. I mean, shoot. I've got a newer version of the buck 110. This was the July buck of the month. That's why it has Magna Cut and America camo carbon fiber. Yeah, that's cool. If I'm going with a more classic knife, that's what I'm going with. Hey, shout out to my brother Brody. What's up, man? Thank you for the $5 super. He says, thanks for the Zon drop info today and for lightening my pocket by $500. Did you guys see that? The Noom Zon. I keep feelers out there. Because there's people that are trying to get this on. If you already have one, you're like, I already have one. You know what it's like to run that race. I ran that race for like a year and a half. I was interested in one for 2 years. Started taking it more seriously for about a year and a half. And they've been hard to get. For a long time, they were selling out within like a minute, 2 minutes. And now they're starting to hang around a little bit more, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes a minute. Depends on the site, depends on the day. So they dropped on Knife Joy today. So I'm curious, aside from Brody, who else got our Noom Nooms on today? Congrats on the pickup, man. Thank you for the $5 super.
This is Sparta!
All right. Says, what's special about Daytona 26? Non-stop leader changes like 4 wrecks and a sneakerhead winning it all. Sounds like a good story. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a limited edition. Now, the thing I'll say about this is that I feel like if there was one thing I could point to on this, I feel like Buck could have done a better job differentiating the carbon fiber layers, because on this guy, depending upon how you switch it around, like the color pigment could be thicker, and so each color is a different layer. The layers are micro thin, and so to get certain colors to show, etc., you have to like sand away just a little bit at a time to get to each layer. And what happens is when you have these big blocks, you end up with a lot of carbon and not a lot of color. And so I do like it. I like it a lot. Plus, MagnaCut, they're known for their Boss heat treat. And when I was talking with their president of marketing, I was grilling them about the Boss heat treat, because I was like, Boss heat treat, renowned, famous, but you guys haven't really mentioned what you're doing your MagnaCut at. It's like 63 to 64, which if the heat treat legends are saying 63 to 64, I'm good with that. Also really cool hollow grind. Love it, man. Hold on. Fresh says the Fragzons dropped, sold out in 60 seconds. Yeah, you mean the monkey edge frag patterns? I mean, that's the thing that gets me though, is that the regular Zon is technically a frag pattern already. It's just a different frag pattern. Yep. You showed me. I'm telling you, get some 2000 grit sandpaper, or 1000 grit sandpaper, 2000 grit sandpaper, in the thousands somewhere. Lightly just start touching at it, and I promise you can get some better variation in there. I promise you. Hey, what's up, Sal Mendez? He says hello from Boise. I feel like that Spider-Man meme where they're like different Spider-Mans pointing at each other. Yeah, man. Shout out my Boise people out there. I gotta say, since moving from Denver to Boise, it's been a big change, man. It's been a big change. Like, Boise is still a city, but it's a small city, and the people here are less city-like than the people in Denver, which ultimately is a good thing. We got good neighbors. People are nice. Even on rush hour traffic ain't bad. It's cool. Plus, Knife Mecca. We got Millet knives, Koenig knives, Chris Reeve knives, Hawk knives, Buck knives. I could probably keep going. There's a lot of knife makers in Idaho. Who did I miss on that list? Let me know. All right. Let's see. Bradford Mitchell says Boise doesn't exist. Here in the figments of your imagination, we're live. This is your consciousness telling you that 5 is enough beer. Let's see. All right, guys. What's new out there? What's new out there? We already mentioned that we already mentioned Winter Blade drop coming soon. Already mentioned Diamond Pattern American Blade Works Slippy is available. If you want one, go get one. They will sell out. I think that there's just been a lot higher supply than there was before. And that's why they're sticking around for longer, because it's still a fantastic price. On that note, let's see, DLT. We're going to go back there. I like their website. And I keep saying this, like, I wish more retailers did their sites like DLT, where there's a drop section, like American Edges. American Edges does a good job of this too. New Gunslinger. $349. Jack Wolf Timberjack. Blue Canyon and Maple Valley Richlight. $185. It's actually a pretty good looking slip joint. I know some people are like, slip joints, I'm out of here. Let me tell you something. You know what I love about slip joints? And I only have two, but they both share this, is slip joints tend to have really good cutting geometry, which means that they're very easy to sharpen, and they're going to outperform your everyday utility knife for an EDC purpose. Now, if you work in construction, obviously no one's replacing your Milwaukee Fastback, and I get that. But if you're an average Joe doing average Joe type things, it's nice having a knife that you could pull out and be like, I just need to take out the most recent Amazon boxes, etc. And that's where you're going to find slip joints are really nice, because unlike a utility razor where you have to constantly replace the blade, you don't on a slip joint, especially if you get one with a premium steel like MagnaCut, M390, S90V, etc. The edge is going to last a long time, and then you just sharpen it, and because it has a really slicey edge geometry, it's going to be quick and easy to sharpen because there's not as much material to remove. I did a test between a cheap EDC utility knife all the way up to an expensive EDC utility knife, all using like the replaceable box cutter razors. Hold on. And for giggles, I did that same test with TPK QSP Hedgehog. Now, if I was just to stick to the EDC utility knives, I'd probably go with this guy right here. It's the Peachy G9. It's made in Canada. And it's phenomenal. I love it. Love it to pieces. But I'm not carrying it over I'm not carrying it over my TPK Hedgehog. This actually is a much better cardboard destroying machine. And I'm not really worried about, like putting it through something. Like if I hit a staple, who cares? It's stupidly easy to sharpen. So it took me a long time to figure that out, that EDC utility knives are cool, but slip joints that have really thin cutting geometry are better. I'll stand on that. But let's see, Jack Wolf Tango S90V. $349. Okay. Cool. Let's see what else. Ooh, Dixon's releasing, or excuse me, not Dixon. McNeese is releasing more Dixons. Shocker. And a fixed blade. The Ringed Agent. I do like their new epicenter. What do they call that? No, it's Shockwave. I was gonna say epicenter. The Shockwave milling pattern is cool. I'm partial towards the diamond texture. I feel like the diamond texture just looks so damn good. I want them to make a version that's like 80% as big, just like 20% smaller. That's what I want. Just make it 20% smaller. Cool. What else? Ooh, Herman's. Oof. I like this. I like this one. The Vespertio. That is sick. It's not a big one. It's 7.2 inches. 3-inch blade. flipper only. Love that fluted milling on the handles too. That's cool. $1,095. Hammered textured pocket clip. Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Ooh, they got a couple of Vesper TOs. What's different on this one? This one's a little less. Got a little bit of anno going on right there. Blue pocket clip. Oh. What makes this one like $100 less? Is it the fact that it doesn't have sculpting on the clip? Just has milling instead of sculpting? That's cool, dude. Number 245. If I was in the market for one, and I'm not, I'd probably go for this one right here. That Vesper TO is pretty cool. Number 245. The Sting is pretty cool too. 985. I have to get one at some point. I have to. It's been decided. Good opportunity to remind everyone to stay hydrated. Nothing like some ASMR of me drinking water. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. Welcome into Goku. Mark Parks in the house. What's up, Mark? Welcome into Brown Sugar. Ed says Roll needs to buy a Tesseract Herman. Yes. The Tesseract pattern is sweet. Love that, man. Absolutely. Arnar Steve says Boker Bad Guy is pretty solid and kind of funny. Yeah, it's actually I like the profile on that one. I do. Welcome into Palmer Connolly. What's up, man? I missed so much. I missed so much in the chat. Did I say hi to Neil? Good to see you, Neil. All right. I think we're all caught up in the chat. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and check out some pocket checks real quick and see what everyone's carrying today. In case you missed it or in case you came in late, I carried two knives today, two new knives. That was nearly bad. This guy, first and foremost, Winterblade X Folder. This one's so cool. I love that. And then, of course, the other one, the Vulcan Serpent. It's a custom one of one from Vulcan Knives. They're so cool. We're gonna highlight them again after the pocket check because they're always worth checking out. It's always worth checking out Vulcan Knives because you never know when he's going to release something new. You have to stay up to date on his Instagram. And he does less wild stuff, does more wild stuff, does crossbar locks, frame locks, button locks. I think I've even seen I may have seen a liner lock at one point. But they're always one of one. And he uses premium materials like titanium and carbon fiber and crazy blade steels that I've never experienced before. Like this one right here is ZMAX. The ZMAX BQ? I don't know. But it's like 68, 69 Rockwell, so it's super hard. You know. Very hard. Back to the pocket check. What did you guys carry today? Let's find out. It looks like it's starting off today with Rebel Rouser. He's got a Mojave. He's got the Sugar Maple Jack. That's right. And the Kaiser. I always miss on this guy. It's a Kaiser fixed blade. That's cool though, man. I like the Sugar Maple Jack. The fact that it has crystal tie is really cool. Mojave, of course, one of my favorite knives, 2025, if not my favorite knife, 2025. Nick T's got the Wednesday Harpoon Love with the BMK Ether and the Sparrow Strix. There you go. Does this count as a Warncliffe for Warncliffe Wednesday? Does it? We'll allow it. That's a cool shot too, man. I like with the blurry lights in the background, a little Timascus clip action on that Ether. It's pretty cool. Cat Scratch has the JK Design Outpost V2 and the Orca V1. Look at that. Very nice. Some Balisong action in the background. Digging it. Big Jim Coming in with an F5.5, right? That's an F5.5? I believe so. 80s camo carbon. Nice shot with the background. Where are you, Jim? Like, you don't have to give me an address, but like general area. Looks like a fantastic view. Stonewall is carrying the MSI Mini. Yeah. Very nice. I want an MSI Mini. It's on my list this year. I want a titanium one. They're officially available. I think it's so funny. Like 4 weeks ago, someone asked, maybe it was Ian. Someone asked, should I stick around and wait for one? I think he was talking about the SOCOM or the MSI Mini, because they were just selling out en masse. Like they would do a release, sell out, do a release, sell out, do a release, sell out. And my answer was yes, the inventory is going to catch up, and there's going to be available inventory. You'll have an opportunity. And as of right now, you can go out and buy a titanium Mini. You can go out and buy a Ramlock SOCOM. They're available. They're still like, if you get a titanium version, like $400 to $500. Not the worst American-made pricing, honestly. But here's the deal. I'm always skeptical on first-gen microtechs, and I'll tell you why. Because they often rely on the first couple batches to help reveal if there are any design flaws. And there have been reports, and I don't know if this is everyone's MSI Mini or not. So Stonewall, I want you to check it out later. But there have been reports that these, like the backspacer is a little too tall internally. And so there are reports that some people's blades are actually touching that backspacer. And after a few hundred circulations, it's actually starting to touch the blade. Now, it's not a huge deal, and I'll tell you why. Because if you sharpen your knives, you're going to be removing enough material to the point where like 1 or 2 sharpenings in, and it's not going to be an issue because it's just going to clear the backspacer. But also, it's possible Microtech already knew about this and has already issued a fix, because when Microtech fixes stuff, they don't tell anybody. I don't see any edge chipping on there, man. And I'll tell you guys what, it wouldn't stop me from wanting to buy one anyways. That's such a tiny thing. Just keep an eye out. Make sure your backspacer on the insides isn't touching the edge of the blade. There's videos on it. Maybe they caught it and already fixed it. Maybe, I don't know. The funny thing is that if you submit this for a warranty, like let's say that your MSI Mini has it and you submit it for a warranty, because Microtech has a pretty good warranty, odds are their fix is going to be to sharpen it. They're just going to sharpen it. All right, we sent it back, we fixed it, and it's got a new edge. That's why it's a non-issue to me. It's like, you sharpen it, they sharpen it, who cares? Chances are they already fixed that. And again, I don't know if it's every knife or just some, but it has been a commonly reported thing so far. Let's go, Craig Vincent. Let's see, can I name them all? Cold Steel FM1. The Slock Master. I've never heard of that. The Slock Master. What's a Slock? Cold Steel Engaged Tanto? I didn't know they made an Engaged Tanto. That's actually pretty cool. Let's go. Swift 3. Vosteed. Vombat. Titanium Tenacious. There we go. Manganus Kaimano. Is that a Recon XL? It is. A Recon 1 XL. Nice. So I got all of them, except I've never heard of the Slock Master before. That looks like a deep hollow grind. The Slock Master. Slock Master. Is that the maker or the name of the model? I don't know, but I've never seen that before, and that's cool. That does look like a hollow grind too. Very nice. Let's go, Days. He's got Old Reliable. He's got the Spyderco Shaman. And I almost said M4. That's Magna Cut. Nice, dude. Love the Shaman. Bradford Mitchell has a couple winter blades. He's got the Factor 8, the Factor Batch 4, and the Stormtrooper Veyron. Ooh, nice, man. Stormtrooper Veyron, that's one you don't see a whole lot of, but when I reviewed it, I really liked it. I was remiss when I had to send it back to Brian. And I think Brian knew that, which is why, like, when he reached out on this one, he's just like, you can keep it. just keep it. That was nice of him. Veyron is super cool. Of course, the Factors are all really, really freaking cool. The Factor 8, much bigger version of the Factor. I've checked out a lot of Winter Blades. In fact, I may have checked them all out, with the exception being the Factor knives. I wish I could change that. Ed's got the Malsect 808D. Love that knife. The Malsect 808 is really freaking good. I did my video on them, and everyone agreed because they sold out. I wonder, did they ever stock back up again? Because they were a stupidly good price for a hot minute. Like, you could get the DLC version for like $150 out of stock. Both still out of stock. I mentioned in my video, buy them while you can, because when people figure out you can get, S90V titanium and DLC for $150, they're going to get snapped up, and they did get snapped up. Aaron's got, that's a Medford Praetorian Slim. I almost said Slim Flipper, but there's no flipper. That's a Praetorian Slim. Crazy. What's going on with the blade? Is that... Oh, okay. That's a reflection of the tree. I see what's going on here. At first, I was like, that's some crazy acid etching on that blade. Never seen that, but I would believe it because Medford does really crazy, cool finishes in a million different ways. But no, that looks like that's the reflection of the tree off of the finish of the blade. Is that Predator? Is that the Predator milling or the Predator sculpting? Or the zigzag? I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest fan. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of the Slim Praetorian or the Praetorian Slim Flipper aesthetics. I prefer the regular Praetorian dimensions and the Genesis and the Micro. But that's still really cool. And having experienced a few Medfords now, every time I handle a new one, it always just shocks me how good the finish work is. Mark Parks, he's got, I mean, technically it's a Para 3. In reality, that's a really sexy custom knife. That is a Para 3 that's had a REK or Rec reblade, and those are RG Custom Metalworks scales. Spyderco wishes that they could come out with something this sick. They do. Instead, they're like, you know what, just rip out our spine and add the rest yourself. That's so cool, man. I actually would love to do that. Rec reblades, not cheap. RG Custom Metalworks scales, not cheap. Are those... Is that rock scale? Is that rock scale hardware? Mark? Rock scale hardware? I don't know. Freaking cool, though. I'm jealous. You know that. Drinkwater's got a DSK VXC McBee. A DSK VXC and a McBee. There we go. There we go. DSK. I've been seeing more of his work out there recently. DSK. Pretty cool. Love it. That Spyderco McBee gets some mileage. All right. Geek Machinist, what's up, dude? He's got a Chris Reeve Ignoni. I want one of those. They sell really well. That's one of Chris Reeve's. Excuse me. It's one of Chris Reeve. Is it okay to say Chris Reeves when you're using a possessive? We're gonna say it is. It's one of Chris Reeve's fixed plates. I definitely want one. He's also got a SOG power pint. He's got a Gerber pry bar. I like it, man. I like the old. You're on a bridge, right? That's an old bridge? I think so. I dig it. TC's got a McNeese Dixon. He's got the new McNeese fixed blade. He's got the McNeese PM Mac 2 3-inch. And I believe that one up there is a full-size McNeese PM Mac 2. Holy cow. Did I get them all? I may have. What's up, Ron Dobbins? Good to see you, dude. Ian says, Veyron is old news. Turbilon now. The Turbilon. The Turbillion? Turbilon? I don't know how to say that. Old news. It's like a year old. I disagree. Some knife designs are so good that they last past the expiration date of hype. The Veyron's a cool one. Hey, I got it right. Rock Scale Hardware. It says 2.4 seconds from drop to sell. Oh, man. All right. Let's go. Serious Mike with the Baba Yaga. This is a custom anno job. And I'm jealous, Mike, because I want to get into doing some custom anno work myself. I like that you got a fade going on there. You know, titanium anodizing is really interesting because if you don't know much about it, I don't know much about it, but I've been falling down this rabbit hole where I've been reading up on it because I would like to get a setup that allows me to anodize titanium. And so what you need is a power source that has a certain amount of voltage. Some people will do they'll daisy chain 9-volt batteries together. Some people will use a power supply where you can control and adjust the voltage. Now, you get different colors at different volts, but also you get different colors based on the finish and also based on the etching that you did beforehand. So, for example, you get more vibrant anno work on satin and polished titanium than you do on, say, more of a matte finish or a blasted finish. So I've been reading up on it. I've been watching a lot of content on how to do custom anno work and the prep work involved. And I've got mad respect for people that do this because it seems like there's a lot of headaches involved. So, Mike, big props to you, man, for falling down the rabbit hole. I'm glad I'm not the only one. That's freaking cool, dude. Good work. Reaper, what's up? Reaper's EDC says, try to guess at least the brand. I'll give you a clue. It starts with an N and ends with a C. That's Knock Knives. Knock Knives, and I'm not sure what the model is. It's a Knock Knives knife. Yeah. You didn't make it that hard. I only had to guess one letter. Come on, man. I got the brand. I don't know the model number. Did those have a name? They've got to have a name. I hope they didn't do a model number, but I know that that's Knock Knives work. Nikola Tesla. He's got a Psyop and a Porcupine. Fantastic knives. I have both of those knives. I love both of those knives. I really want to see Vosteed come out with a premium Porcupine in the top liner lock. Please. I mean, I'd also be okay if Vosteed did a premium Porcupine, with a Vancor lock. The Vancor lock, they've done such a good job of bringing that up to date and continuous improvement over time. The newer Vancor locks have been very smooth. Very smooth. I would say a lot smoother than the earlier models were. So I'm very impressed with the Vancor lock. I would love to see a top liner lock premium Porcupine. Maybe this is the year. Maybe we'll get one by the end of the year. I hope so. All right, J Slick, what's up, dude? He's got the Rex 121 Paramilitary 2 Warncliffe. That's the Millie Club exclusive, right? Brody's coming in hot with the Bradford Guardian 2.5. An M390. Like it, dude. Warrior Guild's got the SOG Power Leader, the Hawk Talon Poikilo AS2 Cyber Kuza in Rusty Tank Tie, Bastinelli Brass Reaper Big. All right, we're going to watch the video. I love that sound. We're going to have to play that back. I love that sound. How does that not make you smile? They're like, I mean, it would help if you weren't playing music. There Rolls goes again. Playing music over the nice acoustics. Love that. Love my Hawk Talon. I was thinking it would be really cool if Brian Winters and Gavin Hawk actually collaborated. The Winter Hawk. I feel like we need this. Would anyone sign that? Like if I did a petition, would you sign that petition? Like Gavin Hawk, Brian Winters, the Winter Hawk. That might be too much, man. Jim's got Bestech Taipan, the J-Cal Warncliffe, the Rosecraft Mud Creek Congress. There you go. Look at that. And you know they all see carry time too. One of these days I'm going to get a Brass Brigade fixed blade. I keep meaning to reach out to him to see what he's got. And then I get distracted and I buy something else. It happens. It happens. But one of these days, I'm going to follow through on that. I'm going to get one. Skull, he's got the Ankelo, the Finch Jackrabbit, and the Jack Wolf Knives Midnight Jack. Very nice, man. That's a good looking one right there. The Sugar House Knife Syndicate. Like the little bunny on there, too. Good set of knives, dude. Like it. John Sagamori with some craziness. What in the world is this? What is this? I don't know, but it's sweet. Look at those handles. Look at that grind. That's like that's a triple grind, because we've got what I'm assuming is a chisel grind up front, a flat grind in the middle, and a recurve hollow grind in the back. How much is that knife, John? I bet that's got to be ridiculously expensive. That's not a poi kilo, is it? Is it? How dare you post that and not tell me what it is? We're going to turn this car around. I'm going home. Just kidding. Bradford Mitchell's got, he says this one just came. Did you buy this on the secondary, man? Hold on. Brad, did you buy this on the secondary? The reason I ask is this is the Gen 1 milling, right? The straight across. And then they came out with the 45-degree angle milling. And then they recently released the diamond pattern milling. So the question, excuse me, the question I have is, was that a secondary purchase from the secondary market? Ooh. David V's got the Tri-Stash V2 and a Civivi. I'm not sure which Civivi that is. I don't keep up with Civivis and Wee knives. I'm really bad at Civivi and Wee knives. Sorry. Fred the Lug's got the Michael Raymond Estrella and a sick integral custom knife. There you go. All right. I see you there, man. Sweet. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Yeah, that'd be a first. Dale's got a concept and titanium boker. A concept and a titanium boker made in Germany with ceramic blade lockback. What? That's crazy, man. You don't see a whole lot of folders made with ceramic. So that's really cool to see that. It's a concept Tuckamore, of course. Of course. I actually knew that one. Delayed reaction, don't mind me. Goku's got a Spyderco Man Bug, a Victorian Knox nail clippers, penknife, scissors, nail file tweezers, and a toothpick. That's a carry right there. I like how they all fit on your keychain too. Pocket carry is so 2025. Only keychain carry for 2026. Guys, that will do it. That is the pocket check. Thank you to everybody who has participated. Thank you. All right. This is my only Winter's Blades knife. The Veyron. It says drink H2O. Yeah, that's good. That's a good. I think you're talking to drink water, but I'll do it anyways because peer pressure. Paul says, hold on. Gosh, I'm so far behind. What's up, Thomas McDonald? Good to see you, dude. Paul says, I like the new diamond milling. Yeah, the new diamond milling is sick. I've got one on the way. Because, you know, one isn't enough. So I've got the vertical line milling or horizontal, depending upon how you hold it. American Blade Works Slip Joint Gen 1. That was the first. That was the first. Jim says nobody could afford a Winterhawk. They're both expensive. They're both expensive. But I'm telling you right now, that would be a crazy cool collaboration. I would love to see it because they're both highly innovative. They have a lot of ingenuity. They're very clever in their knife designs, and they come out with things that people don't typically think about. Can you imagine though? Like, what would they create if they got together? And how ironic would it be if they collaborated on a knife and it turned out to be a titanium frame lock? That would be the biggest joke played on the enthusiast community ever. If they just came out like Brian Winters, Gavin Hawk, known for their ingenuity, known for their creativity, for thinking outside the box to solve problems that people don't even think about, working together, and then they come out with like a super basic slab style titanium folder drop point flat grind. That would be freaking hilarious. I'd still love to see it. That would be the biggest practical joke. Like, that would be a perfect April Fool's joke. Ian says, I've got the car autism, so I always know what's up with cars to some extent. And I'm a big fan of cars. I am. I haven't stayed up with them in recent years, though. Cars are an expensive hobby. Ron says, I picked up a Dan Caraher integral knife. Nice, dude. Congrats. The Turbolons. Oh, I thought you were talking about the watch, about watches. Why did I think you were talking about watches? I thought you were talking about watches. It says Roll should stay away from power supplies. He has a history with fire. What he's referring to is a couple years ago, I had to do a knife sale because my computer that I stream and record videos on for the channel had a power supply failure and it caught fire. Knife sale under duress. But it worked out. It worked out. Gonna knock on wood there. The Winterhawk bug out killer. Crossbar lock. There you go. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, if anyone new is watching that hasn't been here before, and you want to know how do I get my pocket check featured in live streams, where is this magical, mystical community that he keeps referencing? This is the Discord. Discord is available to channel members of all levels. Channel membership starts at 99 cents. Once you become a channel member, if you go to the posts section of my YouTube channel, there will be a post that only channel members can see. Those channel members can see an invite link. Click the link. It'll take you to the Discord, and you can join. I don't have many rules on the Discord. Not that many. I've got a few. The primary rule is the golden rule, which is don't be a dick. We strive to meet this rule every day. I think we do a pretty good job. It's a pretty wholesome community. But if you'd like to join the Discord, this is how you do it. Become a channel member. Go to the post section of YouTube for my channel. Click on the invite link. It'll bring you here. And once you're in, you're in. That's how it's done, man. What's up, Rome? Good to see you, dude. He says, hopefully no burnt pivot. Oh, man, the shade. The shade. How dare I? Oh, how dare I? I can't believe that I mentioned my pivot came in with a burn mark on it. It did. Look, it did. It did. The irony is that I was having fit issues on my slippy immediately when I got it. It wouldn't go back to center. You could move the blade one way or the other and it would stay there. Then you pull out the blade, pop it back, and it would be off center again. And then you could move it and like the blade centering would stay wherever you moved it. And it was a pain. And I took it apart like 50 times trying to do all the blade centering tricks to fix it. Finally, I reached out to Mike Martin, told him about the pivot. Told him that I stripped a body screw, which is ironic because he has a limited warranty. It's a 1-year warranty on his site, and on that site, on his warranty, he specifically says he will not replace hardware. I didn't ask him to be clear. I didn't ask him to. I asked him for the dimensions so that I could go find the hardware myself. And he just offered to send me new hardware anyways. But he also offered to send me a new pivot that didn't have a burr mark on it, which was kind of him. I didn't ask for it. I was just going to polish it. And when I installed the new pivot, and keep in mind, I'd already taken the knife apart like 3 or 4 times. One of the best things about this slip joint is that unlike many slip joints, you can actually take this one apart and put it back together very easily. But after installing the new pivot that he sent me, all of the fit issues went away. So like now you move the blade, it will just go back to center. You open and close the blade, it goes back to center. So that pivot that I initially got was absolutely it was bad. Burning. The original pivot was bad. New one he sent fixed a lot of things for me. Anyways. Oh, yes. I know what I was going to do. Instagram. Did you guys know I have an Instagram? I keep mentioning it. If you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it. There's cool stuff here. Like this from Hypercut Manufacturing. What? What is that? Oh, it's their new automatic. That's right. I saw these were released. They had some on PVK Vegas. Yeah, that's cool. I just wish that it wasn't an automatic. What was I doing? Yeah, I was going to find Vulcan. So I've been following Vulcan Knives on Instagram for a hot minute now. I mentioned it earlier. My carry today is this guy. This is a 1-of-1 custom. This one's a button plunge lock. They were super prominent like 2 years ago, and then people got tired of button plunge locks. They're like, oh no, everything's a button plunge lock now, and I don't like it. And now everything's a crossbar lock, and all of a sudden, button plunge locks. Anyways, I've been keeping my eye out because one of the things about Vulcan Knives is that all of his knives are 1-of-1. He doesn't do book spots anymore. What he does is he just makes what he wants to make. As the story goes, he does this for a hobby. And he doesn't charge custom knife prices. Despite using premium materials, despite using modern locking mechanisms like plunge locks and crossbar locks and frame locks. Yes, he does some frame locks too. He has some knives that look more traditional and some knives that look crazy. Like this one is sweet, man. This one has dragon scale milling, multi-tone dragon scale milling on the handles. You can't tell because my bear paws have been smudging up the titanium this whole time, but there's actually a satin finish on those dragon scales. And then it continues onto the blade. This is technically a Tanto, technically a Wharncliffe. You know what this blade reminds me of? Is the Elishewitz Wharncliffe. Elishewitz, for Hogue. They call it a Wharncliffe, but really it's a Tanto because it has two distinct edges. That's the defining factor of a Tanto, is two distinct edges. Custom knife titanium Z-Max BQ steel, and this is heat treated to like 69 Rockwell. Now when he sends these, that was nearly bad. When he sends these, he actually does a metal certificate of authenticity with everything nicely printed out, which is crazy, man, because these are going for like half of what they should go for. We're talking 250, 350. I've seen some for around 400. It's bananas. And we'll get to the screen share. And he Rockwell tests everything too, which is cool. But he's got some good designs out here. Like these, for example, these are a couple titanium frame locks that he recently did. I'm kind of pissed because I missed out on these. I saw the post a little too late, but I want to say he did these for $250. And this is a dude that does it for the love of just doing it. Like my hobby is, making content around knives. His hobby is making knives. So that's carbon fiber titanium frame lock. I could be wrong, but I don't think he uses a CNC machine. I think he uses a hand mill. Like, that's stupidly cool. That looks like I could be wrong, but that looks like a hollow grind. I think he also does the clips himself. These are also titanium. I believe these are his custom clips. So I'm just putting this on everybody's radar. If you want a knife from him, follow him on Instagram. When you see him release a video on something, reach out to him immediately. Like if you see one that you like. He does a lot of cool stuff. Frame locks, crossbar locks, a lot of crossbar locks. Fixed blades, if you're into fixed blades. Button locks. I'm here for it, man. I am. Like these are cool. The one at the very top is actually really, really freaking cool. I like it. And these are custom knives. The prices he's selling them at are not prices reflectant of someone that does it to make money. It's someone that does it because they want them to be affordable and they just want to continue to do what they love. And I like that. I appreciate that. I support that. My review on this is probably a little ways away. So I'm just going to tell you guys right now, this will not be my last Vulcan knife. I will get another one. And I would recommend keeping an eye out because right now you might be like, not sure about those designs, not sure about that. Guarantee you at some point he will make something that you really like. And when he does, that's when you reach out. All right. Jim, have a good rest of your night, man. Feel better, my friend. Ed says, ingenuity aside, is aluminum Chinese-made knife worth $400? A product is worth whatever people are willing to pay. Now, on this note, you're not just paying for the materials. The materials are a factor, for sure. But the cost of a knife is always going to be determined by two things. Three things, really. First is materials. Obviously, you have to have the stuff to make it. Second is the machining requirements. And third is going to be the demand. So, when you think about it, MagnaCut and aluminum, which, by the way, this is not 6061 aluminum. This is 7075 aluminum. There's a big difference. 6061 aluminum is run of the mill. You can get it. ProTech uses it pretty frequently. Their knives cost a couple $100. 6061 aluminum is what you normally see. This is 7075 aluminum. When you hard coat anodize 7075 aluminum, or we can just call it 7 series, it becomes exceedingly wear resistant. It has an incredible strength to weight ratio. It's not cheap, but you also get the ability to do really intense ano work. If you don't believe me, just look up the difference between 6061, which is what you are going to see on most knives that have aluminum scales, and 7075. Now, I'm not saying that alone would make this knife $400. But when you consider that this is all new design language that these manufacturers have never done before, that means new tooling. That means they have to test tolerances a different way. That means more prototyping. That means more time making it. There's the meat and potatoes of your expense. And then on top of that, you have to account for the fact that he's doing this as a drop and not as a pre-order. So there's a lot of expense that goes into making this, or to getting this made. And it is a bit of a cop-out to look at it and say, well, MagnaCut and aluminum, $400, ridiculous. Now, you're not doing anything that I don't foresee a lot of people doing. But you have to understand, the materials cost on this is the smallest percentage of the reason why this costs what it costs. There has to be a profit, and you have to account for the OEM work, having to do new tooling, having to do new manufacturing processes, and that is going to make up a big difference. Not to mention, if we really want to get technical about it, watch this. We're going to do Heretic Raya G10. One of the knives that I checked out last year, and this one was a hard sell for a lot of people in the community. Heretic sent me this one. MagnaCut G10 plunge lock. Like $500, dude. That's not even aluminum. That's MagnaCut and G10. $500. MagnaCut G10, $500. The point that I'm trying to get across here is not that this knife is overpriced or that knife is overpriced. The point that I'm getting across here is that it's the cost of manufacturing. And the cost of manufacturing is heavily driven by the cost of being able to actually make it, and not the cost of the materials itself. Like, yes, that plays a role, but it's not the biggest factor. Says, had to step out for a while, but came back for the pocket check. How dare you call my Guardian 2.5? Guardian 2.5? I'll give you another guess. Isn't that the 2.5 or is it the 3? Guardian 3. Guardian 3, 3.5? Hold on. The Guardian 3? Bradford G3 Damascus? One-off collector, $540. Chad Nichols Damascus. Sorry, rabbit hole. Got distracted there by the sharp and shiny. It's a Bradford. Is it a Guardian 3? Is it? I think so. We're gonna scroll up. We're scrolling. We're gonna scroll. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. That's a 3. That's got to be a 3. I know when you were looking at getting a Guardian, we were talking about it. I thought I showed you one that was a 2.5 that was a really good deal, but you wanted one a little bigger. So you got a Guardian 3, right? Bradford Guardian 3 Tactical? My bad. Thomas Gates says hot sauce. Hot sauce for who? What are we talking about? Let me see here. It says, now you're comparing USA made knives to Chinese made knives. Not that I disagree, the Heretic is also overpriced. Again, something is always worth what the market will bear. And if the market won't bear it, the price will go down. We see that all the time in the knife world. We do. We see it all the freaking time. 3.2, whatever. Close enough for, government work. Close enough. No, look, you can compare any knife that's a knife to any knife that's a knife. Regardless of where it's made, a knife is a knife. So, at least at that point in time, they are comparable. Just like you could compare a handmade custom like this to a fully production made knife. You could. Is it fair is the question. And it depends. It depends. Are you looking for a knife that's going to be a knife? Or are you looking for something on a collector level? Because that is the differentiator. You can talk about price. You can talk about manufacturing capability. You can talk about China subsidizing their cost of manufacturing. But here's the thing. Brian Winters is not Chinese. So he's not getting subsidized by the Chinese government. He still has to pay the price to have them do it. So it's different than when a Chinese company makes a knife self-branded and then they sell them directly to us here in the States. That's different. When designers have things made overseas, especially new things that no one has ever seen before, that operate in a way that no one's ever seen before, yes, those are going to cost more. They always do. Always. It comes down to the cost of manufacturing. Skull says, it matters if the stop pin is only supported by aluminum. Let's see. So, the stop pin is supported by this. And I'm not sure what that material is. So now the question I have is this. What are you doing with your folding knife where you're worried about the stop pin tearing out of the handles? Realistically, I am not concerned because I know that when Brian Winters makes something like that, he doesn't make the mistake of making something that's weak. In fact, one of the most impressive things about the X folder is its incredible lock strength. And I can tell you guys all about it. Or you could just watch my upcoming video. There we go. IDs. All right. What's up, Mike? It says Heretic is a lot of junk. Way better for the money out there. I've got some Heretic knives. I bought a Wraith V4. Love it, man. I love it. As far as automatic knives go, I don't own many automatic knives. When you think of like in the scheme of knives that I've purchased, I don't own many automatic knives, but I have a Wraith and I absolutely freaking love it. Easily the coolest automatic knife that I own. So when you say that there's better out there, it's gonna be one of those personal preference type things. Now, if we're talking specifically about something like, I don't know, hold on, let me bring it back. Heretic Pariah G10. All right, so let's walk through this because I actually did a bit of this myself when this knife came in because I wanted to see like what in the world. So this is $486. If you got the one with DLC coating on the blade, they were like $500, right? We're talking American made, small-ish batches. They're not a large company. I want to say there's what? Why did I get that error? They're not a huge company. They do manufacture a decent amount for not being a very big company. You know, it's Anthony Marfione Jr. But they are smaller batch. I want to say that their production is probably not as much as McNee's as far as what they're capable of producing. But we're talking American made, small batch, not large quantities. $500. If you think this is bad, have you guys seen the HMC Transient with G10? We're talking $1,000. $1,000 for a G10 HMC Transient. And the argument is, well, they're small batches, you know, they're custom. They're like at the end of the day, are we still talking American made and materials? Because if we're going to play that game, like I could show you guys 1,000,001 knives made in the USA, and their materials do not justify the cost in the eyes of the average consumer. And that's why it always comes back to something is always worth what the market will bear. And I have to tell myself that when I say things like I think the Oz Machine Company Roosevelt is an overly simplified knife that costs too much. But the truth is that it just costs too much for me. On the Edge, what's up, man? He says, having to use my phone tonight because the computer is broken. There you go, dude. Well, I'm glad that you're here anyways. What else is out there? I wanted to check. Oh, did you guys see that the new Demko 8022 released? And the Demko 8020 XXX, which is also $1,000 knife. Ridiculous. 8022 is the one that I'm interested in. They released on Knife Center, and then they released on eKnives. I don't know if they've done a release on KnifeJoy yet. But these were here, and then they sold out super quick. These are American made. $450. And here we go with G10 and MagnaCut. $450. And this is the point where everyone turns around and says, well, I mean, it's got a special lock. It is what it is. I really want to get one of these. These are the 8022. And these are American made. Andrew Demko with the shark lock, new pocket clip design. Some people hate it. I actually kind of like it. We're starting off with the shark foot blade. I like the way they did this clip too. So the way they did the clip is really clever. What they did was they sandwiched it between the scales, and it hooks around the brain fart. It hooks around these posts. Barrel spacers. Jeez. Words hard. It's not a very big one either. It's 3 inches on the blade, 7.5 overall, MagnaCut, shark foot blade. They do have a titanium version, but I haven't seen the titanium version release yet. I think the Thai version is going to be somewhere around $600. They had the custom version go for $2,600. Anyways, American Edge. I know American Edge. Did they already release this one, or are they going to? Wait, or is this the custom? That's the custom. I'm pretty sure American Edge is going to get some. Let's see. Heretic. New. What's new? Oh, they got the titanium Talon in. They got the benchmade Dacian. What did I tell you guys? Microtech mini MSIs now readily available. These were selling out so quickly. The one that I want between these two, because it seems like everyone loves either the fluted or the frag. I think I'd prefer the frag pattern. Ooh. It's got the purple accent too. Damn it. Shouldn't have seen that. I wonder, they also have the... Yep, they do also have the titanium frag SOCOM ram lock. That's the other one that I really want. And that's the right milling pattern too. 532. These were also selling out pretty quickly. What else? ProTech TR3 with what? That's actually pretty freaking cool. Aftermarket. Okay, with aftermarket, that explains. I was like, when did ProTech do this? They didn't. Excuse me. So ProTech didn't do this. This is an aftermarket add-on. So they had a Chad Nichols Zircotite inlay. Look at that. That's freaking crazy, man. Who did the inlay? Ah, Jack Harris. I'm not familiar with that person. That's cool, though. You know, speaking of the secondary market, one thing that I wanted to highlight that I don't normally go into too much detail about is going to be the knife yard sale section of the community. So the knife yard sale section of the community is a place where you can, of course, buy, sell, and trade to your heart's delight. Now, keep in mind, it's not heavily moderated. However, people do commonly and frequently buy, sell, and trade here, myself included. So if you want to check this out, I highly recommend doing so. Looks like Aaron D2 has done some work on here. He sold a Hemlock. He sold a Mini Arius. Congrats, man. I know you're looking to sell that. He sold a McNeese Dixon. We've got Mr. Eddie popping in a couple days ago with some knives for sale. What does he got? Let's see. Very nice. So he's got a Glycon. He's got a Auto SOCOM. Well, no, that one's a liner lock. Liner lock SOCOM, right? SOCOM Bravo. SOCOM Alpha. Para 3. Is that a Wii Elementum? I haven't seen one of those in a while. This guy right here, that looks like a small Sabenza 31 with a custom scale. Yeah, small Sabenza Magna Cut with micarta scale. Nice. There's some cool stuff here. Now, most of these people are people that are well known within the community. You can always reach out to other members of the Discord or ask for them to have someone vouch for them. You can ask me, and if I know them, I'll let you know. That said, it's really freaking cool that we have this section of the Discord. I'm going to be listing a bunch of knives for sale here very soon. So keep your eyes peeled. Whenever I do knife sales, I always try to give the members of the Discord not only the best price, but also the first dibs. So, just giving you guys a heads up, I am going to be running a knife sale here soonish. And I'll be listing them here first. I'll try to actually take pictures this time. I did pictures on demand last time, and that kind of sucked. People asked me for all the pictures anyways. So I'll try to take pictures this time, but I'm going to be listing a bunch of knives for sale, so keep your eyes peeled. If you're interested in that. If you're a member of the Discord and you haven't really looked into this section yet, look into it. It's pretty cool. If you have some knives that you want to sell them here. And on that bombshell, and get back to the chat. It says, check out the Swiss knife I mentioned in a previous comment. How far up do I have to scroll, dude? Here it is. The Klotzli Swiss Border Guard. Okay. All right. Klotzli Swiss Border Guard. Let's go. Klotzli Swiss Border Guard. Back to the screen share. Oh, fixed blade. In Damasteel. Okay. So I'm guessing. So I see I see we've got two right here. We've got this one, which is a folder, and this one, which is looks like a fixed blade. So let's check out the folder first, just for giggles. Currently unavailable 610 CHF. That's the Swiss currency. What is that in dollars? Let's see. RWL 34. Well, it's Damasteel, so it includes RWL 34 and PMC 27. Push button. So it's a plunge lock. Looks good, man. It does look good. Here's what I'll say. I am not a fan of Damasteel. I'm not. Some like this is one of those opinions I have that some people absolutely hate, but I don't care because it's my opinion. So I'm not a fan of Damasteel because everything that I buy gets carried at some point. Not every single day. Like I have too many knives to carry every single knife every single day. That would be ridiculous. But everything gets carried, and if I need to use a knife and that's what's in my pocket, that's what's getting used. That's why people fainted in horror when I did a video sharpening a Craig Brown Cortex XL. It's like, why do you want a better edge? Because I use it. I'm not some hardcore user, but I do use it. What bothers me about Damasteel is that its claim to fame, it's super expensive as far as knife steel goes, because only one company is licensed to make Damasteel. Damasteel is, you know, a patented steel, Damascus pattern welded steel, but only one company makes it. They can charge whatever they want. Its claim to fame is that it's a high performance steel. But the only reason why you would ever buy something in Damasteel is not for the performance, but for the look. And so you pay more for it. I have yet to see anybody EDC a knife in Damasteel, because when you buy a knife in Damasteel, you're not buying it for the performance. You're buying it because it looks cool and it's more limited, which is totally fine. Totally fine. But they're more expensive, and their claim to fame is performance, but it's performance you'll never use, you'll never see, because everyone that buys one is too preoccupied making sure that it stays looking cool. And they do look really cool. That's the thing, is they do look really cool. Is it going to end up in someone's display case? Probably. You know, is it going to end up in someone's pocket? I mean, there's like a 5% chance. It is really cool looking. But Damasteel is not something I will pay extra for, purely because for less money, you can get a steel that actually performs better. Now, if my goal was to buy something like this and put it in the display case, then sure. You know, if this was like an heirloom knife, its main thing is to just be a work of art that you appreciate, then yeah, that would make sense. But for me, because I like to experience my knives, I like to carry them and put them in my pocket, the hard part would be, is I would have to carry a secondary knife with that, not because of its inability to cut, but because you would have to preserve the beauty of the thing you paid all the extra for. I don't know if that makes sense. That's one of those opinions that I have that people don't like, but I don't care because it's my opinion. The other one is this guy right here. This is a fixed blade, the Swiss Border Guard. So you can get it in a fixed blade version or in a folder. That's cool, man. That is really cool. Still Damasteel. Looks like Odin's Eye Damasteel. Is it? Let's see, I'm reading the description right now. What is that? Yay! I was right. It is Odin's Eye. It's a very specific pattern weld on that Damasteel. It looks great. Looks freaking great, man. Nice harpoon drop point. Or would you call that a clip point? Harpoon clip point. Probably more accurate. Let's see. 160 millimeters. Please don't make me convert. Don't make me convert. All right, we'll do it. 160 millimeters, 2 inches. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's 6.3 inches overall. That is tiny. That is tiny. 6.3. For an EDC fixed blade, not tiny, but the blade is going to be 70 millimeters. So that's what? Roughly 2.8, 3-inch blade? $70. Come on, keyboard. Yeah, 2 3/4. Okay. Yeah, so this is an EDC sized fixed blade. And I say EDC size because it's a fixed blade that can fit in your pocket, that won't be overly large. I mean, for me, it's not the play. Just because I won't spend on Damasteel, I just won't. But as far as non-Damasteel versions, like look at this. Damasteel versions of the folder, 610 CHF. I have no idea what that converts to dollars. I'm guessing it's at what, a 2-to-1 conversion on Swiss currency. I don't know. I'm not very worldly, but so 610 or 445, depending on if you're getting the folder or the fixed blade. And if you get the folder that's not, or if you get the fixed blade rather, that's not the Damasteel, instead of 445, it's 165 CHF. And if you get the folder that's not Damasteel, it's 420 CHF. Damn it. Now I have to figure it out. CHF to dollar. Okay. Swiss franc is 1.29 conversion. So let's say, in dollars, what is that? 610. If you buy the folder. No! Damn it. I clicked the wrong button. Hold on. I was over here converting francs to dollars. It's an $800 folder roughly if you buy it with the Damasteel. And this one, 445, that is what? 445, 575. So that's a lot for a fixed blade. But this guy, like you look at this one, it's 165. 165. I gotta stop pressing my number pad buttons. 165. So the non-Damasteel version is only $213. That's not an overly huge amount for a fixed blade. It's Bowler N690, so not M390, but N690. So it's a decent steel, still made in Switzerland. Kydex. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a cool fixed blade. If I were to buy it, I would buy this version right here. It looks like an all metal handle too. So that's all one piece. Nothing to fail, nothing to screw in, just one piece. This means it's also going to be heavier, 65 grams. We'll pretend for a second that I know how to convert that, but we won't actually convert it. It's cool. It's cool. I'll be honest, not my jam on either of those, but it is cool seeing knives made in Switzerland. Burning Stables Forge. What's up, man? Good to see you. Welcome in. Henry says, Roll, you trying to exit on us? No. So like I have shortcuts set up on my number tab, like on the number pad on my keyboard. And I forget that when I'm streaming, I shouldn't use that for anything other than the shortcuts. So when I tried to type in the numbers using my number pad, it hit all the shortcuts. Oh, man. Brad says, yeah, but Damasteel is made of RWL34, which is a really good steel. It is a really good steel. But it's not like $300 more expensive good steel. Like, that's the thing, is RWL34 is not outperforming S90V. It's not outperforming, I hate to say it, it's not outperforming M390. It's not outperforming MagnaCut at 65 Rockwell. It's not outperforming, like, yes, it's a good steel. And if you don't have to have the absolute performance, then it's neither here nor there. But that's Damasteel's claim to fame, is that it's a high performance Damascus. But the performance doesn't even matter because nobody's going to use it. Like, that's my point. The performance doesn't matter. Like, you can get really good Damascus or really good looking Damascus that doesn't cost like twice as much as the non-Damascus version. Like, and if you're not going to use it anyways, then what does the performance matter? Like, that's my point though. It's like, you can get Damascus that costs less that also looks freaking cool. The performance doesn't matter on a knife in Damascus that's not going to be used. That's my point. I have to, like, every time I mention this, someone always says, but it's got really good components. Yeah. And it looks really cool. Yeah. But it doesn't matter that it's high performance because nobody's going to use it. I want someone to prove me wrong. I want somebody to pop in the Only Spartans Discord and record a video showing them hard using, or even just flying through some Amazon cardboard with their damn steel knife. I would love to see that. There's not a lot of evidence that anyone wants to do that, and I get it. It's because those are always the collector's editions. Those are like the gems of the collection, and you don't use the gems of your collection. I get that. I just think that Damasteel is a sham. Like, you can get good looking Damascus that doesn't cost that much. You can enjoy the look of the knife without saying, well, it's super high performance oriented. Like, how do you know? How do you know? I want to know. Says, did you hear about the mini MSI? Yeah, I mentioned it. You're talking about the issue with the blade hitting the backspacer, right? Yeah. Yep. Mentioned it during the pocket check. I'll say this again in case anybody missed this. I don't think it's a huge issue, and I'll tell you why. It's not hitting by much. It's just like on the ones that are reporting an issue, it's just barely not clearing the backspacer on the inside. You sharpen the blade like once or twice, it should go away. Like, it'll clear it. And I guarantee if anyone sends it to Microtech for the warranty, they're just going to sharpen it to get it to clear. I guarantee you that's what they're going to do. And I don't know if it's everybody's knife or it's just some people's knife, or if Microtech has already realized that and they started, shuffling out new ones that have been fixed without telling anyone, because let's be honest, that's what they do. That's what they did on the stitch. Hold on. Got one right here. Microtech stitch. This is mine, Ramlock stitch. Freaking love this knife. Love this knife. Now, it's got some Swedish scales on here, so these are the aftermarket titanium scales. I had titanium scales before Microtech made titanium scales. But the first iterations of the MSI and the stitch had an issue with the lock not being designed good. And so, like, it wasn't as solid as it could be. And so, like, it was failing regular durability tests, like spine whack tests. Microtech issued a version update and didn't mention at all that they were, or even say anything about fixing a design flaw. They just fixed it, released more, and when people submitted their warranty claims, they just like, here's your replacement. No public accountability. But they did honor it in their warranty, and they did make a design update. But that is the main reason why I'm always very hesitant when Microtech releases a new model. Because when they release the new model, everyone rushes to buy them. All the sweaty neckbeards, they sweat over the drops and the releases. But I've been here before. I know that the very first batch that goes out is always the beta test batch. It's really hard to trust first gen anything on a model like that. It's really hard because you have to wonder, am I just going to be the person that is paying to beta test this knife for this company? How much am I paying for the privilege to be a beta tester? We saw it on the MSI. We saw it on the Stitch. Now we're seeing it on the mini MSI. But temper that with the idea that it's not like on the ones that I've seen where it's not clearing the backspacer. It's by such a small amount that you sharpen the knife once, twice, you're going to be taking off enough material to clear it. And if you send it in for a warranty, that's probably exactly what they will do. Hold on. Speaking of pretty sweet, pretty cool knives, shout out to my man Brian from Transparent Knives. Brian, where you been, dude?
This is Sparta!
You know we miss you on this live stream, man. A while ago, I actually had you join me on a live stream. We might have to do that again at some point. I want you to know, I don't own many fixed blades, but one of the fixed blades that I own that I absolutely love, this guy right here, the Doodle. It's never far. It's such a good carry. I'm not a fixed blade guy. This is a knife that will fit in my pocket, stay in my pocket. It cuts really, really freaking nicely. I put it through so much cardboard. I get a lot of boxes, like piles, man. I get piles of cardboard to go through because I only have one recycling bin. This is what people don't understand. They're like, oh, you just save up or you go buy cardboard to scrap. No, I just end up with it as a, byproduct of my daily life. I have one recycling bin. I don't want to pay for another one. Everything has to fit in there on a weekly basis. You know how I make it fit? Love this fixed blade. Really awesome hollow grind. I know you're making more or you've made more. I swear I've seen more Doodles available recently. 65 Rockwell MagnaCut is fantastic. Shout out to my man Transparent Knives. Says how much cardboard you want cut. How much cardboard do I need cut or that I want cut or do I want to cut? Because I actually do enjoy the process of cutting cardboard. And I'll tell you why. Because I painstakingly put edges on my knives. And I always wonder, how is this going to hold up? Is it going to be good? Is it going to last? Is it going to get through everything? I'll tell you what. American Blade Works slip joint. I ended up having to sharpen this after about, I want to say it was like 50 feet or it wasn't much. Because when I looked at this, I thought, man, I think this has a burnt edge. And then it was recycling day the next day. So I had to cut through a pile of cardboard. I went through about 50 feet and it started snagging on all the cardboard. It's like, well, maybe the cardboard's just rotten. Sometimes that happens. Grabbed another knife, no problem. Went back to this, it was snagging. Tested the edge felt glassed over. And that was the factory edge. Put my own edge on there. Cutting like a freaking dream. Another reason why I like to sharpen my knives. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. We're going to call it right there. I want to say thank you to everybody who joined in the live stream tonight, to everyone that joined in the pocket check. Appreciate you guys. If you want new content from me, new content is out. Last 3 videos released in the last week are the Devo Saloon, the Tempest Tornado, and the Vosteed Slim Tie Slim. New content coming in the near future on some really cool knives, including but not limited to Winterblade X Folder, Vulcan Custom Knives, and a lot more. It's been a long day, but we're more than halfway through the week. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, I'm hoping to go live again this Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys later.